What's up, guys? It's me, LSP Spectrar, here in another video in Wayward Terran Frontier. This time we are going to break some space speed records. I was about to say land speed records. That doesn't make sense. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start from kind of my baseline, and then at the very end, my very last ship I'll show you is my record holder. Now, all the ships that I tested averaged between 500 to 700, all of my below what I'm about to show you, but I start getting a lot higher. Now, this is my first ship that I designed that started getting really fast. So there it is. I mean, while I was doing this, I noticed that the developer was very specific, and his awesome team, they were very specific on how they actually designed the edges of these ships so that you could only place certain engines in certain ships, and it was very smart on their part. Congratulations to them. If they for some reason are watching this video, congratulations to them for a very well designed game, in the sense that of pushing you to try new things. Now, as you can see in this bottom corner down here, I am reaching 905 miles per hour. That is fast. Now, to give you a perspective, travel drive, which if I hit T here, the baseline is about almost 1 kilometers per second. And so we are almost reaching that just going our normal speed. Now, with this ship, I can kind of turn, and all these ships I can just barely turn, not super maneuverable. But that's pretty darn fast. But I get faster. So let's go ahead and hop into the next ship. Now, this ship is one of those small ships. And what I found is that I was able to go faster in the smaller ships. The larger ships, while I was able to fit larger engines, had more inertia on them, and that was the problem. The more inertia you have, the more engines you have to have. So I was trying to find that balance between low inertia and a lot of power. So I actually get pretty darn fast in this ship. This one takes a few seconds to get going. There we go. All the engines start to kick in, and I am reaching a whopping 947 miles per hour. Now, it's at this point where I was determined, absolutely determined, to hit travel drive speed. I was just convinced that I was not convinced that you could not hit that in just a ship. So let's go ahead and move on to my next iteration. So this one is actually one of the medium-sized ships, and I chose it because I was able to get one of these mega engines and another large one in here. Now, granted, all these ships are designed very specifically with power, and it's basically using the maximum amount of power it possibly can at any given time, generally speaking. Now, this one is kind of neat because it is still usable. You have a docking port. That's what makes this one kind of special and why I'm including it. As you can see, hitting shift, I have a port. All these have life support, but we get going on this one, and we reach averaging about between 957 and 60 miles per hour, which isn't a ton faster, but it is faster. But the reason I included this one is because you have that docking port, which makes the ship a little bit more usable in the actual game while still being able to go extremely fast. So let's go ahead and hop into the next ship. Now, this is the smallest profile ship in the game. And as you can see, things are absolutely crammed to the maximum. I literally fit as much as I possibly could, and I wanted to be able to turn a little bit, so we even have an extra engine here for turning and life support. Now, this one takes a second to get going, and I'll tell you why. In this bottom corner by the engine symbol down here right above travel drive, you see that little white bar slowly filling up. That's your engines hitting their maximum potential. If they have enough cooling power, they will stay at that top. Now, as you can see, just holding down the button, I stay at about 957. But if I let off the forward for a second, I hit 1 kilometer per second. Now, that is because when I let off, the heat dissipates for a second, and then I'm able to go at full maximum power from my generators. So if I come in here, these generators can power all 4 of these. But because I wasn't able to get in enough heat dissipation, they're not able to hit their max power. But like I said, if I let off for just a second, it gives it enough to where I can hit 1 kilometer per hour 1 kilometer per hour, guys. That is as fast, technically faster than the travel drive without holding down the front arrow. I can go faster than the travel drive. But I was not satisfied with this. I was convinced I could still go faster, and that is where our last ship comes. Let's go ahead and hop to that. Now, this is the ship, my fastest ship. It is that really small, just transport ship that you see in the game, and my first iteration only had 1 engine, but this one has technically 3, but it's basically 1 engine. It's kind of that sweet spot where it's not the least amount of inertia, but it is still very little. And this whole thing is just designed just to power this, essentially. I've got a little bit of movement. Wasn't able to get in a docking bay or anything like that. You guys might be able to figure out a way to do it. But let's go ahead and test it. This one... Now, just watch down here. 1.3 kilometers per hour. Guys, that is just ridiculous fast. I cannot get any ship in the game to go any faster than this. And this is where my challenge comes in. I challenge you guys to go faster than 1.3 kilometers per hour in any ship in this game. I would love to see someone beat my record. If you post it as a video or on some social media site, please leave it in my comments below this video. I'd love to see your guys' fastest speed. But this is the fastest speed to go I can get any ship. And I mean, travel drive is not even as fast, and you have to hold down the button a second just to hit 1.3. It's just insane. This thing just goes so. And to give you a little bit more perspective, if I spawn in a ship, whoop, there it goes. Completely lost it. Let's go ahead and just spawn in another one. Bye. Anyways, guys, I hope I had so much fun making this. It was so much fun to try to do this, and you kind of get a respect for the way they designed these ships. They designed them very specifically to push you to your limits on your designing skills of the ship, which I now have a much better appreciation for, and it's a lot of fun. So I challenge you guys to try to make something to go faster than mine. And if you do, please let me know. I'd love to see your guys' designs. It's really fun to try to do. But feel free to build this ship and play around with it and possibly use it as a scout ship. The two ships back one with the bigger ship, it's the starter ship in the campaign. That one's a little more practical because it has docking bay, you can get in and out of it. But this one is still just a ton of fun to fly around in, even though I can't really do anything with it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, suggestions, anything like that, please leave it in the comment section below. I love reading it, and I reply to pretty much everything. So I'll see you guys later. See ya.